Hello everyone, my name is Tyler and welcome to episode 11 of Fortnite Battle Royale Ideas, the series where you give your ideas for Fortnite and I'll give you my thoughts and implementations on the idea. This episode is going to be a special one and structured a little different. I'm going to give a brief summary of my previous ideas, announce my giveaway winner, and talk about idea topics that are coming up because you guys have left a lot of comments and I want you to know that the idea videos are coming. This video isn't without special gameplay either. This was the funnest gameplay of Fortnite I've ever played. We ended up getting 2 jump pads and bouncing back and forth over Loot Lake. It gets pretty crazy. If you enjoy the gameplay or commentary, give the video a thumbs up as it really does help the channel grow. The first video in the series that I uploaded was a Halloween patch notes video. This was as soon as the Halloween update went live. It was one of the first big updates, and I went over all the patch notes and kind of some of the new game-changing stuff that was in there. And while I won't re-go over those patch notes again, I will say that in the future I might do a patch notes video summarizing all of the main bits of all the patches that have come out and some of their game-changing effects, and we've seen some of the ideas we've talked about be implemented into the game in some way. It's at this point during the gameplay that you see both of those people in the duo squad there jumping from Loot Lake, using the jump pad to get over here, and I told my buddy, hey, watch out, I'm gonna break this floor, and it actually made him fall through. It was completely accident, but he went ahead and got both of them, which was cool. And they dropped what is the second jump pad, so this is when it starts getting interesting. We built a jump pad on top of this building, and you just have to wait and see. It's pretty cool. And the circle just so happened to continually close in on Loot Lake, so it worked out in our favor as well. The second video that I uploaded was a firing range video, basically a closed off area of the map or a new map entirely for you and your friends to practice. There could be targets set up, some could be moving, some could be behind cover. This would allow you to practice leading your target, practice the bullet drop off of snipers, a good way to keep track of your accuracy, and basically just improve and mess with the sensitivity settings within the game. You could also implement time trials for all the different weapons and have weapon-specific time trials for global leaderboards and self-improvement. The next video I uploaded got quite a bit of love. If you missed it, I do recommend you watch that one. It's the tracker dart and pulse cannon video. Basically, the idea was a weapon that would track enemies. I went over the potential problems this could have in the game with it being overpowered by being able to see enemies through walls, but I gave some cool ways that it could work, as well as some alternatives such as a tracker dart weapon that's silent but hard to use, and basically this would make the tagged enemy leave a trail of footprints behind that would grow fainter as time goes by, and a pulse cannon, a projectile weapon that would send off a sonar pulse in a radius that would ping tagged enemies on your minimap. I talk about different ways the ideas could be implemented and what game-changing attributes they would have. By now you can see that we've used the second jump pad, and now we are trying to build up a way to get back to this first jump pad in a quick manner, so we're basically setting ourselves up to go back and forth here. The next video idea I had was an ammo crafting video, basically being able to craft ammo by breaking down weapons, adding an additional resource, or simply by using iron. The concern of having a surplus of ammo and not having to manage it, you could do standard ammo, you could do cheap ammo that does less damage, hollow points that cause bleed out damage, ricochet ammo, as well as other ideas in that one. The video after that was melee weapons, cosmetic and customizable melee weapons, but also melee weapons you would find around the map like axes, hammers, and crowbars that would yield higher resources when harvesting, and weapons that do more damage to players. I bring up the question of, do these harvesting tools damage players in the same way, and do the harder hitting weapons to players harvest resources in the same way? And would a high damage melee weapon be good late game? And then I lastly give a schematics or weapon parts idea that you could find weapon parts throughout the map and craft a beast of a melee weapon. The next video idea was a Christmas update idea. This was before the Christmas update came out, and we've seen the Christmas update by now, and they added some really cool stuff. I do think that they could have added some more, and I do go over some more ideas in that video, such as Santa's sleigh as the battle bus, but the bus drops presents as loot drops, a Star of Bethlehem that points towards future safe zones, snow-covered landscapes, which would be really cool, adding snow drifts and snow caves, changing the landscape, and also leaving footprints of all the players, ice covering Loot Lake and the river, making players slide around. The next video idea is another idea that made it into the game, and that would be grenade types. The grenade type that made it into the game was a boogie grenade, one that I never would have thought of, but some that I did think of was a sticky grenade, a flare, a Molotov, and some others, because, you know, we've got that bouncy grenade, that never goes where you want it and sometimes gets you killed or your teammates killed. That happens to me at least. And I also talk about how these new grenades would work. My favorite were the stun grenade and the flash grenade. There were some cool gameplay changing implementations and how those would work. We've also seen them add limited time game modes, and game modes is an idea video that I also talked about. We saw them add in the 50v50 game mode. I gave my impressions on how I didn't think it felt like the trailer showing full teams of 50 battling it out at once from big castles. I provided some variants on the 50v50 mode, such as an attacking and defending team. The defender has to build up a fortification around an object before the match starts, then the attackers would fly in. Both teams would choose starting weapons instead of looting. I also talked about a weapon specialist mode, such as the recent high explosives mode that made it into the game, but you could also do it with all pistols or all snipers, all epic weapons or all common weapons. A quick play mode with a smaller map, but with my concerns on ridding the stealth aspect to the game, and a mode called Pockets, where there would be multiple storms creating multiple safe zones with the storm dividing them. And my most recent video up to this point is vehicles, a topic everyone's thought about and one I think needs to be addressed at least. I don't think they need to be added. I give my reasons why, the main ones being that it would lessen the effect of crafting, which I think is the heart of Fortnite, and rids the need for time management through the storm. I do, however, give some alternative ideas, such as a craftable bicycle and horses that could be tamed but could also be spooked by gunfire. And, as you see in this video, we also have the jump pad, which is great for traversing the map. None of these videos would be possible without you, my viewers, subscribers, and supporters. I want to thank everyone for the ideas and support. As a Christmas gift, I gave away $10 Steam and PSN gift cards to my Patreon supporters Charlotte Gregory, Brian Hill, and Mott. I also said I'd give one away randomly to one of 10 of my most active and genuine subscribers of December. That list of people is Girls Love Gaming, Matthew Mott, John Thompson, Ryan Scott, Gandalf LC, Leonardo Caviacciolo, Saba, Snipers TO3, Nerfy, and Jedizion Fuller. And the winner of the giveaway, as denoted by a random name picker that I found on Google, is Saba. Message me in the comments for the best way to reach out to you to give you that code, and I will get that to you. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone, especially those 10 people that I listed for all the support. I hope in the future, once my channel grows, maybe I get more Patreon supporters to be able to do more giveaways to give back to you guys. And it was this point in the gameplay where I decided I'm going to throw a bunch of smoke grenades to try to conceal us so we can jump back to the middle of the lake, because they'd already sniped us once and they had our name. They were trying to snipe us again, and we want to avoid those guys in the tower behind us, so that kind of concealed us a little bit. We flew back, almost got sniped again, and then my buddy ends up dying here, but the game's not over yet. Now let's talk about some upcoming videos for the Fortnite series. New weapons, whether that be crazy variants that have unique abilities or more standard weapons like a double barrel shotgun or a silent sniper. We've seen Fortnite add a lot of weapons into the game, and I hope to see them add more, so let's talk about some of those. Potentially a video on more ammo types than what I had previously discussed, specifically fire and acid ammo that would do more damage to construction. New potions, there's been a lot of ideas mentioned for new potions, and I've got a lot myself. I'll probably break those down into a video on their own, whether that be a speed potion, a vision potion, a storm potion, and so many more ideas, so expect those for sure. A terraforming video using shovels to make trenches, that would definitely be game changing. Adding all rarities to all weapons. A backpack for increased inventory space, I really like that idea. Crossbow and bow type weapons, this will probably be a separate video than my other weapon videos. Armor and helmets. Weather based on seasons or dynamic weather. New resources such as rubber. Variants on the grenade launcher like the one that shoots smoke. A combination of grenade and ammo type ideas there. A rarity beyond legendary. A raincoat for the storm, a life jacket for the water, additional traps such as claymores and traps that can be put on ramps, a flamethrower, objective game modes, an AoE healing and damage buff, distant healing abilities for squad mates, some sort of knockback weapon. I've had a lot of people mention zipline and grappling hook. Those are going to be two big videos on their own. I'm excited to see all the different ways that those could be implemented into the game. Gliders, additional storm effects like wind, tornadoes, and updrafts. I think there's a lot that could be done with those. Varied chest rarities, and gun attachments. So as you can see, there's a lot of video ideas that are on the way. Let me know which ones you want to see most, if you have anything you would like to add to those ideas for the videos, and if you have any new ideas different from these. As always, I will present the idea in multiple forms and talk about how it would change the game, the different pros and cons the idea as a whole would present, and just the neutral gameplay differences it would offer. I'll also give alternate ways the idea could be implemented with different balancing factors and attributes that they could have. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I'll leave you with the rest of the gameplay and stats at the end. This gameplay was super fun, and if by some chance you do get 2 jump pads, I highly recommend trying something like this. We were able to hold down almost the whole lake area by going back and forth, by managing our time spent on each side, keeping an eye out for enemies, and we're basically able to keep a whole nother inventory of loot on the island safe for us to go back to if need be. We built quick ways with cover that weren't too obvious to our jump pads, and the storm was kind to us, allowing us to set up and to do this. At this point, there's only 4 people left, and I only knew for sure where one of them was because he tried to build up to me. In retrospect, I would have waited to use the jump pad for the last time until I found more people because I knew the pad was there, but they probably didn't. I think the rest of the people ended up being under the island and dying to the storm. If you enjoyed the double jump pad gameplay or commentary, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you to everyone again for the support. This has been Toast, and I'll see you on the next video.